week's installment, this Aussie actress put in the hours to far and away become one of the greatest screen actors. But when she makes the human stain, she keeps her eyes wide shut. Is this an attempt to die for, or is this redhead a Moulin Rouge? Because it's Nicole Kidman on tonight's Hollywood Swingers.
That professional introduction where he stumbled at the first line and it broke me instantly. It means it's time for our favourite segment of the show, Hollywood Swingers, where we celebrate those Hollywood stars who have swung into music. This week, it's Hollywood legend Nicole Kidman. Tell me about her, Paul.
Nicole Mary Kidman.
Oh.
Yeah, born 20th of June 1967.
NMK.
It was a Tuesday. In Honolulu, Hawaii, to nursing instructor mother Janelle and biochemist and clinical psychologist father Anthony. Now I hear you say, isn't Nicole Kidman Australian? Well, yes, she is, but her parents were both living in Hawaii when she was born, as her father was studying there before they moved to Washington, D.C. for a few years before eventually moving back home to Sydney.
Uh-huh.
As a result, Kidman not only holds dual citizenship, but she was also given the Hawaiian name Hokulani, which means heavenly star.
Oh, that's cute.
Not so cute, it was also inspired by a baby elephant that was born in Honolulu Zoo.
I 100% think that's incredibly cute, and I will not hear anything else upon it.
Now, growing up in Sydney, Kidman was enrolled in ballet from a young age. She seemed to have natural talent, and she was first inspired by Margaret Hamilton's performance as the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of The Wicked Witch of the West.
Mm-hmm.
I know that as a actress she had to do a lot of special clips for children explaining that she wasn't a bad person and not to be frightened of her, because there was a lot of kids who were really freaked out by her being.
You should be frightened of her, she's terrifying. Despite this, Kidman was a shy child. She battled a stutter, but during her teenage years she would take up drama and mime as, according to her, due to her fair skin and her red hair, she could shelter from the sun by doing rehearsals in the halls of the theatre.
That's so relatable.
Now, during these years, she met up at the theatre with a school friend of hers.
Just need to say that Nicole Kidman, one of the most beautiful actresses in the world, having the exact same origin story as every other theatre kid, where I'm going to get beaten or burnt at playtime, so I'm going to join drama club.
It's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
Continue.
She saw that one of her classmates from school also went to the theatre, so she chummed up with her. They were best friends. It happened to be one Naomi Watts, who years later, she was almost ready to quit the business herself, but she was given a leg up into Hollywood by her lifelong friend Nicole.
That's so cute. Best friends forever.
Yeah.
And they're still making films to this day.
Yeah.
I've seen some of them. They're great.
Yeah, you loved it. What one was it?
It was when one of them had an affair with a younger man, and there was just a lot of
dirty boys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Shun dirtiness. Back to Kidman's early years, she was encouraged to take up acting full time, and she took that literally by dropping out of high school. And in 1983, she made her film debut at the age of 16 in a remake of an Aussie festive classic that was supposedly called Bush Christmas. As well as starring in my opinion, the classic crime comedy caper movie BMX Bandits. Have you ever seen BMX Bandits?
I've seen clips of it.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
It got a write-up at the time in 1983, 1984 in the Guardian newspaper that just said, there's a girl called Nicole Kidman who's rather good.
Oh, that's very cool.
I believe that's also the inspiration for the moniker of the Scottish indie band of the same name.
What?
Is that film, BMX Bandits?
Oh, right. I thought you were saying there was a band called
Nicole Kidman who's rather good. After a few years of good parts in Australian films...
Was she ever in Neighbours?
No.
But
Kidman's first big break came with a starring role in the 1989 thriller Dead Cam alongside Sam Neill and Billy Zane.
Right.
Despite her young age, during the making of that film, she would have only been 21, 22, but she plays the wife of Sam Neill.
That is classic weird Hollywood age difference. Let's not get into Love Actually, where Keira Knightley is 16. Right.
Kidman won critical praise, but also brought her to the attention of not just one particular movie star, but arguably the biggest star in Hollywood.
Oh, let me guess, who is it? Sammy Davis Jr.?
No, I'm afraid it's Tom Cruise, who personally sought out Kidman for his upcoming film Days of Thunder, That
Right.
was the follow-up kind of action film to Top Gun. But
Right.
instead of jets, it was cars.
And Show Me Heaven was in
And
it.
Show Me Heaven was the song from it. And in her first American film, not only did she win praise for her performance, and it was a decent box office hit, but she also won the heart of her co-star Cruise, even though, dirty boy, he was still married to his then wife, Mimi Rogers.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Now, following the success of Days of Thunder, Kidman would star alongside Dustin Hoffman in the gangster movie Billy Bathgate, before starring alongside her now husband, Cruise, in the 1992 Western romance Far and Away. And I remember when that first came out, there was a lot of talk about it because it was, this married couple that was all salacious that were starring in a movie together. And they had Irish accents in this movie that were atrocious. Have you ever seen this movie?
No, now I want to.
Oh, you have to see it. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman do Irish accents in this film that put my farmer impressions to shame.
Oh, hello, Tom. How are you today? Like that kind of
Yeah.
riddle-de-dee.
We
Great.
got to get to America.
Do you know what? Accents are hard, guys.
Despite the being mocked for the accents, it didn't stop the rise of Kidman. Her star would continue to go up in the likes of Malice beside Alex Baldwin. She was likes a thriller, does Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
She was in Batman Forever with Val Kilmer. She was in Practical Magic with Sandra Bullock.
Seen that film, like that film.
That's a very. That
was
wasn't
waiting for a film
massive
I've
box
seen.
office hit, but it was and did become a major cult classic.
That's
a
the
lot of
kind
people
of
like
films
that
I
film.
like.
Yeah.
Is films that maybe don't do well in the box office, but it's the type of film you could get at the video shop or you could rent online and you could watch it with your friends, and it was fun. And Nicole Kidman was great in it.
Then she starred in the dark comedy To Die For, which is a fantastic movie.
Okay.
But then came 1999 and the strange tale of Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh God.
It's once again starring alongside her husband Tom Cruise. The film was a nightmare shoot.
Is this the one where they have like a Comic-Con sex party?
Oh yeah, mask orgies,
Yeah, okay.
murders, the lot. It was recognised by the Guinness Book of Records as the longest constant movie shoot. It ran for over 15 months, including an unbroken stretch of 46 weeks. Like, Stanley Kubrick was obsessed with this film, making it perfect. Tom Cruise and Kidman had to live in the UK for the whole shoot. The erotic nature of much of the film and that storyline of a troubled marriage started to mirror some of the stories that was coming out about the couple at the time.
Oh, that's awkward.
And then, just 6 days after showing a cut of the film to the couple, Stanley Kubrick then died of a heart attack.
Oh, R.I.P. Kubrick.
So it was all a bit
Up in the air.
up in the air, a bit bitter, and it wasn't long after that Kidman and Cruise split up. But
I know.
I now didn't have an adverse effect on her career. In fact, the very opposite. 2001 saw Kidman star in both Moulin Rouge, a film that you have told me repeatedly today that you loved
When
and
it came
saw
out.
many, many times. In
Went to the
cinema.
pictures
Was
over
that
and
a
over.
wee asterisk you put in there when it came out?
When it came out, yeah.
Not anymore.
No, I wouldn't watch it anymore. Mainly because Ewan McGregor annoys me, but I wouldn't watch it again. But I really liked it when I was a kid. I loved Baz Luhrmann straight off the bat because he did Strictly Ballroom, which was one of my favourite films. And when I knew he was doing another film that involved singing and dancing, I was just really excited about that. But it was the first time I'd ever seen a musical where like pop music became part of the musical score rather than it being, you know, just original scores. I'd never seen that before, so I,
worked
thought
in
it
the
was
pictures
wild.
in Glasgow, and Baz Luhrmann came in and hired a picture hall to watch one of his films.
Was it Moulin Rouge?
No,
What was it?
I think it was
Australia?
It might have been Australia.
And did you meet him?
No,
Oh. Okay.
just seen him.
Cool
That was
story,
enough.
bruh.
So 2001, not only Moulin Rouge, which she got an Oscar nomination for,
Moulin Rouge got an Oscar nod.
she got an Oscar nod for Moulin Rouge.
That's
She
wild.
also starred in The Others, which was wildly successful at the box office.
Seen
and
that.
that's a very scary movie.
Liked it.
Very scary movie.
Uh-huh.
Then the next year, she starred in The Hours, where she played Virginia Woolf
Oh, Richmond, it's so sad.
with a ridiculous fake nose.
Prosthetic nose.
But it won her the Best Actress Oscar.
Good on you, Nicole.
And since then, Kidman has basically been Hollywood royalty.
She took the shackles off her feet so she could dance.
Yeah,
and she had a great time.
Consistently just starring, and she has a weird career where she stars in big hits, and then she'll have a big part in maybe a big massive movie, and then go back and do one for her, and then even star in these weird, strange films. Like, did you ever see that film Stoker?
She was in.
That's the one with Wentworth Miller, and they're like vampires. And
She was in. Again, did a great turn, not completely self-deprecating turn in Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler's Just Go With It, which is a classic Adam Sandler "Let's Take My Pals on Holiday" film. And her husband in the film was the guy from that band that I didn't realise was a real band, the Dave Matthews Experience.
There we go.
And they two had such a great, funny, comedic chemistry. She really played somebody who was unlikable, and it stands up as a proper funny performance.
But it's ever since, basically, I would say that 2001, 2002 period, she's basically been earmarked as one of, if not the greatest actress of her generation.
And living her best life.
Yeah.
Good on Nicole Kidman.
So, tonight's song, and despite Kidman being one of the very few Hollywood swingers to have had a UK #1 hit, a Christmas #1 hit at that was with Robbie Williams, and of course we like to give them their due course,
their space,
and go for a solo performance. So we're going back to 2001's Moulin Rouge, a film that you have seen many, many times.
And Nicole Kidman's like sort of moment of self-actualization. She's coming into her own. She's just had a divorce. She's finding who she is. You know, this is her moment.
Yeah, and she didn't give a grounded performance. No, in fact, one day she'll fly away.
Follow the night, can't stand the light. When will I begin to live again? One day I'll fly away, leave all this to yesterday. What more could your love do for me? When will love be through with me? Why live life from dream to dream and dread the day when dreaming when dreaming ends. One day I'll fly away, fly away.
That was this week's Hollywood Swinger, Nicole Kidman with One Day I'll Fly Away. Here in the Ashley Storrie Show, we rank our Hollywood swingers on a scale of 1 to 100. Kenny Rogers roasters, Kenny Roger being the original and the best Hollywood swinger. Paul, I'm going to come to you first. What's your score for Nicole Kidman?
There were a lot of high notes in that.
Yep.
That could have been dangerous.
Yep.
She tackled them.
Yep.
With aplomb.
Mm-hmm. I'm
going to give Nicole Kidman a very heady 80 out of 100 for that one.
I have to agree with you, Paul. As much as, you know, there was a readiness to it, but you're hitting high notes, you're hitting hard high notes. She did them well. It's not the only song she sings in this, so if you have a contextual idea, you know that she can actually chant a tune. So I'm going to give Nicole Kidman a solid 95 Kenny Rogers roasters for that performance of One Day I'll Fly Away from Moulin Rouge. But we can't be the be all and end all of scores. We need to hear from you. Get in touch with us via text 80295. Let us know your score for this swinger. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Kate and Sunny Open says this is going to be bad. 12 Kenny Rogers roasters from Kate and Sunny Open. Kate and Sunny Open. Do you know what? I'm not going to scold people for their opinions. Your opinion's your opinion, and it's just wrong. Davy Hepburn in Aberdeen says 100 Kenny Rogers roasters for her voice alone and her performance. Wow. Agreed. And we didn't even get to like some of her more recent good work, Paul. We didn't even talk about like she was in that Norseman film that was a big hoo-ha. Mm-hmm. She was in that big TV show that everybody loved, The Little Ladies Who Lie. Mm-hmm. It's not Pretty Little Liars, Little White Lies.
Little Big Lies.
Little Big Lies. She was in...
You loved her in Being the Ricardos.
Yes, she was great.
She played Lucille Ball.
As Lucille Ball. Yeah.
You hated that film, The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
I did hate that film, The Killing of a Sacred Deer. It was very upsetting, but that wasn't Nicole Kidman's fault. And there is a scene in that where she goes into a car with a man that really triggers me and upsets me. And you've just made me remember how much I disliked that film. That's a really upsetting film.
I mean, you even like, what was we mentioned that film, Just Go With It.
Yeah,
you liked her performance in that.
And also, interestingly, is a remake of the film that Goldie Hawn, her first film that she made with Walter Matthau.
There we are.
Just Go With It. Great comedy film. Love it. Right, anyway, let's have a little palate cleanser. Let's have something to clear our minds. Nicole Kidman had that much work that Paul almost said, let's break the rules and play 2 songs. And I said, no, we must maintain because the integrity.
She's one of the few, if not one of the, or I would say maybe only 2 or 3 swingers have ever had a UK number 1. No other one have had a Christmas number 1.
Yeah.
But then we would have had to have listened to Robbie Williams. And to be fair, when we listened through it, it wasn't a fair reflection of Nicole Kidman because she does a lot of the harmony work.
Yeah.
And that requires you to be quite flat.
And Robbie Williams takes the easy melody
despite
part.
Being the trained singer.
I'm sorry. You can't call Robbie Williams a trained singer. Play this song. Here's Brian Ferry, Will Let's Stick Together. That's the funniest joke you've ever told.